Not all of them, maybe,
You guys
but...
want to harvest twins?
Twin harvest. Greg.
He's over there. Fuck it,
Greg.
let's harvest him.
Yeah, fuck him.
Hold, no,
I'm
fuck you,
going.
fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
We already done did it.
We already did it, bro. You got fingers over there. Go get one for yourself.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. I got 2 armor left. Fuck you guys.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we gave you 15 chances to.
Oh, fuck you! God damn it, fuck you guys. I've been
another
backing you
twin.
up this whole time.
Oh my
Fuck
god!
you.
Oh my god!
I've been backing you up this whole time. You fucking know me. I'm sorry, who gave you like 8 fucking armor? Yeah, you got this, Davey. No, you're doing great, buddy.
Oh my
You're doing
god.
fucking good.
I'm clipping
Bye.
that.
No, fuck you.
I should have really made myself some tea. Oh man, let me adjust myself real quick. You know, I was gonna leave the window open because I wanted some air to be flowing through here and everything, but like, just it's early morning. All these trains are passing everywhere, and I mean, apparently, emergencies are already happening because, like, you know how many sirens I heard in the past half hour alone? Jesus Lord. Well, anyways, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Mind of Mando. I'm your host, Mando Ortega. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far, or will have a wonderful day. I know we have those mornings that don't start off great, which kind of dictates how the rest of the day will go, but hopefully today is not one of them. Welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Mando. Like I said, I am your host, Mando Ortega, and you know, pretty chill day today. You know, early in the morning. Haven't had my coffee yet. That's the weird part. I haven't had my coffee yet, but honestly, in this state of foggy and cloudiness, it doesn't have the same oomph as it used to have. You know, I don't know. I said the last few episodes. I'm gonna say it again because it's still true. This weather sucks. Like I look at it, I'm like, God, I don't ever remember SF ever being this cloudy for this long. In SF, you know, San Diego is supposed to be hella sunny for majority of the year, but not SF. And it's weird because, like, I think this is the only year I've noticed that's, like, ever been like this. Because, excuse me. Because I remember specifically thinking to myself, man, it is very, very sunny for the majority of the year. January sunny, February sunny, March sunny, and then you get April, May, and then June, July, August, September, October, all sunny. November, sunny as hell. December, kind of sunny. Actually, pretty sunny. When it was supposed to be winters, the sun was still out and shining and it was hot. So I know this is new. Oh, snap. Lower that a bit. It's pretty loud. But yeah. I hope the audio is actually pretty good in this episode because here's the thing. I don't know if I think I spoke about it like once. Hell long ago. I was gonna get myself an audio interface to replace the fact that I needed to charge up my battery for my camera every day in order to make sure I could at least have just over an hour of airtime, or not airtime because I'm not on the radio, but of being able to record. So like the other day I ended up actually oops, it's moving. I actually ended up being able to get the Focusrite Scarlett Solo Gen 3. Small thing. It fits all cozy right here in where I have it placed right here on my desk. Doesn't take much room. It's actually very nice. And the section where I had you know, my phantom power, my cables, and my camera is now empty. I have nothing else that I have to place there, which is nice, which is really nice. and how do you say it? Just it really cleared up space. It really did. So I'm hoping on top of this, now that I'm talking through an audio interface, I also moved the position of my microphone. It is now, instead of being towards my right, because I speak straight ahead, but instead of being towards my right and not capturing the full, stuff of my voice, it is now right in between both my monitors, right next to my webcam. So it's just like while I'm talking to my webcam, the mic is right there. So hopefully the audio is better for my voice. Other than that, I don't know. I have to see how it is for this episode to see if there's other adjustments. I have other ideas of what I want to do in order to get better audio, but I got to see what's up though. Well, anyways, I don't think this episode's gonna be super serious. Well, it wasn't, at least at the beginning. Until I just saw something that was reported on a few days ago. Well, anyways, let's talk about something fun. You guys can see that I'm what is going on this? Hold on. Weird. Well, anyways, you went Google. I'm sorry. I just noticed that there's this thing going on right now where I'll open up Chrome, and when I open a new tab to have something fill up that tab, it straight up goes oh no, you can't you gotta open up a brand new window for this, and it's why? What the hell is happening? I don't get it. Sorry guys, this wasn't part of the episode, at least not from what I was planning. Oh, okay. Oh wait. Yeah, no, it didn't fix it. Huh. Well, that sucks. Well, anyways, sorry about that. So what we're gonna talk about today is something that we haven't talked about in a long time, which is, as you can tell from the music in the background, Assassin's Creed Mirage. And the reason we're going to be talking about this is because 21 hours ago, Ubisoft released gameplay of it. And it's really cool. Really cool. I would play all of it right now, but honestly, I know if I do, then being a big company, Ubisoft, they're gonna strike down every single thing I put up. Well, anyways, Assassin's Creed Mirage finally got gameplay footage. Not that long and everything, but I wonder if I put it without audio, would it work? You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I'll do it. So, anyways, in the beginning, it does this whole clips of Bassam. It's cool. They're bringing it back to the Middle East and everything, and it kind of struck me as more of a try and go back to the roots of Unity. But then the more I kept watching it, the more I kept watching the AI and everything and how things are done, like assassinations. It started striking me more of Origins. Origins, because I guess primarily because of the setting. Origins being in Egypt and everywhere around that area, you see that it was covered in sand. And right now we're back in the Middle East with Bassam, and there's a lot of sand everywhere in a lot of those similar structures. But how do you say it? The more I keep watching it, the more of everything I start noticing. Like right here, boom. I don't think you guys can hear that, but that arrow was what had the sound of the arrow when you shoot it in Valhalla. So so the more I kept watching it, the more this part was cool. He goes down, and this is the classic rooftop entrance from Altair's Assassin's Creed. But yeah, so it's great because it's just now at this part you notice that even that chick, I'm pretty sure she's from Valhalla too, but she looks hella younger here though. So this is more Valhalla route. I don't know why I would have thought different, because even the even the, how do you call them, the subtitles is Valhalla subtitles. I swear to God. Why did I think it was different? Well, here's the part that I'm excited about it. It's just, you see that they have actual assassin robes at this point. Even though at this point they're still called the hidden ones. They have actual assassin robe. They have the Creed symbol right there on her belt, on her sash, which is dope. I don't know if like that symbol is going to be implemented everywhere, because I don't like, you know how other Assassin's Creed, they just have their symbols somewhere around their weapon or their robes. Like, you can see right now, he doesn't have any. None of them do, to be honest. But look at this. Blow darts. That's not new. We literally had that in Black Flag, which is cool. But I mean, like, it makes sense in this era. There's no guns in this era. At least I don't... No, there's no guns in this era. It's crazy to think about it. Like, this takes place before Valhalla. Valhalla, they were living in, like, you know, like long houses and houses out of wood and everything like that. But to think in just in the other area of the world, they have these huge ass structures. Look at that. Look how good that is. It's crazy, you know, you look at it and see how different, like, even at the same time, different places yielded different styles, different structures, different, like, you know, look at this. Who you could actually, your ego can actually get shot. It's that's gonna add a cool element, I swear. And then like haystacks, classic haystacks will never go away. But yeah, no, like this fool, like, just straight up, he starts walking up and everything, and like this is reminiscent of Origins. I remember in the gameplay trailers, Origins, they had him do something completely like that, infiltrate. But look, he actually telling people to look at him, is like, hey, casual, just look at that, look at that. This is straight up from AC2. This is dope. I mean, this looks like all the other recent Assassin's Creed games, but this one looks pretty cool. Boom, blow dart. Oh, snap. He's going to sleep. And his homie's like, oh, shoot. What's up, fool? And then, like, he goes up and shoom. Dude, I'm just really glad. I'm hoping they don't do, like, the loud assassinations like Ivor used to do in Valhalla, because those were loud as hell. I always thought that I alerted the people around me because of how loud the Ubisoft decided to make the assassinations and everything, but hopefully this one's not too much. But like, boom, another one got caught, and then that's dope. That's dope. So yeah, so how do you call it? Oh man, this makes me want to replay Assassin's Creed 1, I swear. I just played Valhalla the other day. So yeah, so now he took down the marksman. So now there's nobody to shoot down your bird, which is dope and everything. Do I miss Eagle Vision? I do, but we saw a little bit there and everything. But still, it's just like Eagle Vision, you know. It's crazy how in this universe, Eagle Vision, anybody can do it, but some are more capable of doing it naturally than others, you know. Just like anybody can backflip, but some people just can do it a lot easier than others. But look at this, So he's marking all three of them, right? This is straight up, what is it? Arkham Knight stuff right here. God damn. How does that work? I don't know. Remember in Assassin's Creed 1 when they showed the crossbow in the trailer, but then they decided to remove it because they were like, oh, that's not accurate to that era and everything. Crossbows weren't there in that era. And then like now in Valhalla we got Iron Man suits. And then apparently now we can teleport. At least here, I hope they explain it some way why we can do that. Maybe manipulate the Animus or something like that, and I don't know, just have the Animus work for you while inside. He put that bomb down. Look, this part looks beautiful. What is smoke bomb? Oh man, that red color, I swear. And it fits so well with this setting. It fits so well with this like Middle Eastern style. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. And look, there's the crowd. And then he goes. And he's hiding in plain sight. Oh man, I miss the old Assassin's Creed, I swear. I mean, it's not as cool as they did it with Unity, but still, it's beautiful. Look at that beauty. Oh my god. Apparently that symbol has some writing inside of it. I don't. Yeah. Well, anyways, that Assassin's Creed trailer is just, oh my god. Did it make me as excited as the other Assassin's Creed? No, not at all. I remember I saw the trailers for, I want to say, Unity and Rogue. I remember I saw those trailers, and I remember seeing those trailers and thinking, wow, this looks incredible. More Unity than Rogue. The reason why is because Rogue, I think, still ran in the same engine as Black Flag, and Black Flag is fun. It's still fun. I still replay that game. So it still runs on the same engine. The only thing is, the idea of an assassin going Templar was a cool concept. Really awesome and everything. Even though that game had flaws like, well, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Because that was around the same time as the Colonial Assassins. And the Colonial Assassins, actually no, that was the Colonial Assassins. The Colonial Assassins were stupid. Let me just tell you that right now. They were absolutely dumb. I said this before in another Assassin's Creed episode, but they were dumb. They literally broke every tenet of the creed. Every hide in plain sight. What do you think that means? It's like you're an assassin. You're operating in the crowd amongst the public and everything. Make sure no one knows who you are. You don't even have to hide. You're just there, and they can't find you. But the Colonial Assassins decided to build forts with the assassin symbol, just waving in the air, just right in the wind for everybody to see, to advertise, hey guys, we're here in the we're here, you know, it's one of our forts, this is where the assassins operate. I was like, wow, that's not hiding in plain sight, you know. And then, like, how do you call it, stay your blade from the flesh of the innocent, you know what I mean? I think I already spoke about this part too, where it's just like, well, are we supposed to be taking that figuratively or literally? Because if it's literally, hey, don't stab people or slash the innocent, it's like, okay, well, I guess they didn't break that tenet, you know? But like, I don't think that's what it is, because it's like, hey, what kind of morality system would that be? What kind of, like, you know, it's like, yeah, I won't stab you, but I'm not above causing a country-ending earthquake and just making sure you all die. You know, it's like, that's not better. That's not better, you know. But you know, they were going for the precursor sites, and they were causing the earthquakes, like they did that, like that country next to Spain. It wasn't Haiti. I think last time I said it was Haiti. It wasn't Haiti. And Portugal, I think. Was it Portugal? Here, let me find out. It's the country next to Spain. It was next to Spain. Just enjoy the music in the background if you guys can hear it. Portugal, yeah. It was in Portugal. Lisbon. Was it? Yeah, it was Lisbon, Portugal, I believe. So, but it was Portugal. And they caused a giant ass earthquake there, killed thousands of people and everything, because, like, you know, the Colonial Assassins were getting too greedy with the precursor sites, and they just didn't care. Shay straight up told them, like, listen, this is killing people. We can't do this. And they're like, nah, you're hella, like, just freaking greedy, bro. Just relax. And then they took away his finding, his research, and he locked it away. And this dude came to the conclusion, Shay came to the conclusion, like, hey, these guys are dangerous. They're going to keep going for precursor sites. And we're gonna die. Innocents are gonna die, dude. The fact that Shay himself, the guy who went from the assassins and defected into the Templars, was the one who did so because he was concerned that the assassins were gonna continue killing thousands, if not millions, of innocent people. It's like, isn't that what the assassins are supposed to be against also? Against killing the innocents? For the freedom of all? Oh my god. I mean, like, sometimes I read into these. Assassins are cool. Don't get me wrong. They're cool as hell. But sometimes I look at it and I'm like, damn, these Templars, they're making a lot of good points. They're making a lot of good points. But, how do you call it? So that was a cool concept. Assassin turned Templar, going rogue and everything. But despite it taking in a different place at a different point in time, it was still a lot like Black Flag. We can't deny that. It was still fun, but it still had a good amount of elements from Black Flag. But Unity, the way they advertised Unity, that was beautiful. They really were trying to drive home the how do you call it? The idea that this is a new gen Assassin's Creed game. Because when they showed the new built from the ground up parkour system, I still miss that system. Still one of the best parkour systems ever. It was so good. And like just the engine they were using, and the fact that they were like taking advantage of the new gen consoles hardware and how they can like render large crowds during the French Revolution. I swear to God, that was beautiful. Unity was beautiful, and I remember I was so hyped. Oh, it's the Assassin's Creed symbol tattooed on my right forearm and everything. It was just it was beautiful. And I was so hyped for that game. So watching Mirage, watching this one, it's how do I say it? I'm not hating it, because who knows? I may turn out to love it and everything. All I'm saying is it's very, how do you call it? It's very Assassin's Creed Origins and Valhalla. So I don't know. I honestly don't know what I was expecting. I mean, this is Bassam. He did meet Ivor in Valhalla, so it's just like, this is just like a prequel to what happened in Valhalla. It's happening in Mirage. But hopefully in the future, hopefully when we get a new character with a new setting, a new point in time and everything, they will go back to one of the old engines and everything. Although I can't see them using the Unity engine if the next generation is going to be taking place in like a more wilderness area. Because I think Unity only really works when there's structure. And, you know, who has structure? Major cities, major countries, major towns, you know. Not really not really ideal when it comes down to how crazy the wilderness can be. But yeah, that's really about it, what I have to say about Mirage. Pretty excited for it. But I mean, I can go into the whole Watch Dogs stuff. I don't think they're going to continue Watch Dogs anymore. Let me see. Is Ubisoft going to continue Watch Dogs? Oh, there's this article released in April of last year where it says Ubisoft may be quietly retiring the Watch Dogs series, but that was last year. Oh, what is going on with my stuff? It's kind of weird. Yeah, I'm not watching that. Well, anyways, the thing I wanted to talk to you guys about was, how do you say it? Was something that's happening here in San Diego. Well, it's happening all over the world, but it's focusing now in San Diego. And that problem is the problem that I have brought to attention before. And that problem would be, how do you say it? The homeless problem. As you guys remember before, when I would talk about the homeless problem, it would be the fact that, San Diego's homeless problem is growing exponentially. They're getting more and more expensive, this city, as well as, new buildings being built, prices going up, and that's just the sad reality and the sad contribution to having people who have been living here for basically their entire lives having to give up their place of living and find somewhere else more affordable for them. And it's just a hassle, and it's incredibly sad. you know what I mean? Because it's just like, how do you say it? Because it's just like, I'll bring it back to me. Back home, I'm lucky. Well, my family's lucky to have been living in the same place that they've been living at since I was 3, I want to say. So for like 26 years, yeah. So like, and their rent is still very, very affordable, very good for 26 years. And it's in an incredible part of the city. Although there's a lot of other people who aren't very lucky to have that. The reason being so is because a lot of people from different areas want to travel to a new location, a new place, so they can start do a new startup, or basically people of influence, people of stat, like, how do you call it? What's that word I'm trying to say? Yeah, people who have a following, people of significance or whatever, they go to areas that at the time aren't very known or very visited, or they are known, but people just don't want to go there for whatever reason, or don't think about this place. And then they'll go there doing their little vlogs, doing their little this and that, and then they'll start writing their articles or releasing their videos with pictures and videos and all that stuff about, great places to eat in this area, an area that people don't visit. And then look at this cool chic things, and look at this retro stuff, and look at the architecture here or architecture there, look at this landmark, yada yada. And then they'll post it up to the public. They'll post it up to the world. The world watches it because, they already have a following. And when the world watches it, people are like, wow, this place looks nice. Oh my God, we should try there. And then they'll get their plane tickets or whatever. They'll pack some stuff up. They'll fly to that area to find a place to stay nearby. And then they'll go to that area, and then they'll start hitting up those same exact spots. People of money start hitting up those exact spots. And then more and more people come in, because those people who now visited write their own reviews saying the same exact thing as the initial person. And then more people go in, and then they start spending more money, which is good, right? It's good. It's putting more money into the economy and everything, just making things work a lot better. But then the owners see that, hey, my place is becoming a lot popular. You know what? I can get a lot more money now. And then they start upping up their prices. And here's the thing. Maybe they're upping up their prices because they have their own, they want to fill their own pockets more. Or because their landlord is like, hey, a lot more people are visiting your shop. Let me just up the price or whatever when you renew your lease or whatever. And then it's just whatever reason, the prices get upped. And when the prices get up, people still come and visit who have more money to get the same exact thing the locals were getting for years. But now the locals are like, damn, I can't visit my favorite places often anymore. I gotta save more money because they just upped more of their prices. And it sucks. And then next thing you know, people are like, hey, we should bring our office over there, or we should start this place. And then we could advertise that, and that we're close to this area. And then they start doing that, and then they start bringing more business out there. And I'm saying, it sounds good, right? It sounds really good. It's supposed to be really good. Putting more money into your community to make things better, make things a lot more, I don't know, just downright better, right? But then it's just like what people don't really think is the fact that doing so hurts at the same time. It sucks that that's how it is, but it sucks and it hurts at the same time, because it's like, I want my community to have more money, but once the community has more money, as a result of having more money, that means property gets it gets more expensive, because since more people are moving in, a lot of landlords, a lot of business owners see this and are like, hey, people with money. So they're like, let's take advantage of this and let's up our prices. This one bedroom that used to cost $1,200 or $1,000, let's make it $1,500, $1,600, you know? Or this studio that used to cost $800, now it's $1,300, you know? And it's just like, holy crap. And some people moving in might not think much of it, like, oh yeah, you know, I can afford that, this and that. But the locals are like, yo, what? Now I have to work more. Now I have to get a second job or a third job because I gotta afford this rent. And then like just more companies move in, more people move in from different places, and they're like, oh yeah, let's start our own things. And then now that property value is getting higher, getting a lot more expensive, people who now own these older places of business can't afford their rent anymore because they're getting more, how do you call it, they're raising up their prices more and they're getting more business, but their rent is getting far more expensive. Or worse, they're not getting more business, but their rent is just getting more expensive just because more people are moving in from different wealthier areas, and they're forced to close down and then leave. And then in their place, it's either going to be a place that's going to stay abandoned, or it's going to be this new hip youngster coffee shop or cafe or a trendy juice shop or whatever, you know, just having these like, or an air bar. You know, in San Francisco, there's a bar where you can breathe different air. That's hella weird. Why would you pay money for that? I don't know. But like, and then it's just, now the place that was originally, you know, for the locals, the place that people originally moved there for, it's now different. It's not the same place anymore. And then the people who used to live there had to kill themselves at their jobs or leave. And it's like, some people just don't want to leave, and they end up losing everything. And then what happens to them? They end up homeless. And that just happens a lot. And that's basically what happens here in San Diego. San Diego's a great place, let me tell you that. It's very beautiful. It's very fun. It's very like tourist friendly, especially in the gas lamp. But as a result, I'm opening the window a little bit. But as a result, just like I explained to you right now, when places become more trendy, when more trendy places open up and people like visiting a lot more, moving in from different places because they already have like a really good jump start on you know, just money, the property prices just get higher. And because they're getting higher, because more people are moving in from different areas who have the money, the people who were here originally can't afford it. They just can't afford it. So they're forced to move out or lose everything and become homeless. And the homeless problem is becoming bigger and bigger every single day. Well, anyways, this article I'm going to be talking about is from the KUSI News, San Diego's more local news station. It says, I'm just going to read it to you guys. San Diego County's homeless population increased 22% since 2022. This was written the 8th of June, 2023, so 5 days ago. It says, let me just close it actually. There we go. It says, the Regional Task Force of Homelessness, RTFH, today released the top line results from the 2023 We All Count point-in-time count. One night snapshot of the minimum number of homeless people in San Diego County. The 2003 point-in-time count found no less than 10,264 individuals experiencing homelessness across our region. The numbers increase. This number includes, Jesus Christ, 5,171 unsheltered San Diegans, with 5,093 individuals in shelters and transitional housing. The Regional Task Force of Homelessness asked the public to remember this is a minimum number, as the challenge of finding every unsheltered person in a car, encampment, or under a bridge is impossible. Yes, it is impossible, because look, like, let me read you guys the number again. 10,264 individuals experience homelessness across our region, which includes 5,171 unsheltered San Diegans and 5,093 individuals in shelters and transitional housing. 10,264 is a lot. It is a lot for the when it comes down to people who have no place to live, have no place to go, and everything, and it's terrible. And it's just like, let me just tell you, like, a lot of these people, well, a good amount of these people aren't even San Diegans. They're not even from here. They're from people who were sent here from different places across the states, because those places don't want to deal with the homeless problem. So they send them over here because, like, hey, San Diego's going to help you. San Diego's going to help you. And how do you call it? And it's just like, it's just becoming an overabundance of homeless people in this area. But I found a video, and I'll try and not put it to the fullest, so they don't be like, oh, you stole this. But, like, anyways, here you go.
For a city government that claims the homeless crisis is the #1 priority, these latest numbers show a different story. In the month of April alone, 714 homeless people got off the street and found housing. That's the good part. Unfortunately, 1,141 people somehow became homeless for the first time, almost double the number of people getting out. And that's just the month of April.
And that's just downtown. And it's not going to stop, because as the numbers released today show, more people are becoming homeless than are getting out of homelessness.
Almost everywhere you go in San Diego these days, you will see things that will shock the senses. Serious mental health issues on display almost everywhere you go. In some cases, these people can turn violent, and there's no choice but to call 911. But what happens when you call?
To be honest, I don't call the cops. They won't come. And when they do come, all they're going to do is give them a ticket. And for me, that's not worth my time and my effort.
In terms of pure numbers, the cops are outnumbered by the homeless in San Diego. Right now, about 1,800 active police officers, with at least 4,000 homeless within the city limits. Unfortunately, the homeless population keeps growing, and the police keep shrinking.
Since 2020, we've lost over 500 officers from the San Diego Police Department. With that high of a turnover rate, we have a very, very junior police force. We're not filling our academies right now. And what's even more critical is that in 2025, we're scheduled to retire over 100 officers. And so right now, we need to be funding our recruitment and retention efforts more than ever.
Make no mistake, this is a serious humanitarian crisis growing by the day on the streets of San Diego. Some of these people simply need a helping hand to get out. Others are suffering from serious mental health issues and drug abuse. At any time, they could lash out.
We had a homeless person come in here and spit on my manager at the time, and I had to get in between them. And cops didn't show up till later that night and the next day. So, didn't help at all.
Keep in mind the police answer to the mayor, and the mayor dictates police policy. Lately, the cops have been told to move the homeless camps here or there, taking their time from serious crime.
Well, it's frustrating for me, because I see the police over on the, 10 or 12 officers on the other side of town, standing around moving people from one sidewalk to the other, instead of responding to more priority calls. If we're going to spend all our money just shuffling homeless people around so that it makes the mayor look good, then the cops aren't going to be able to actually respond to the calls that actually matter.
For a group of politicians that once talked about defunding the police, they have done an about-face. This year, the department will have enough money to hire more officers. But with anti-police sentiments surrounding City Hall and very little money for recruiting, San Diego police will be playing catch-up for a long time.
And that's why we've been asking City Hall for more recruiting dollars. Right now in the city budget, they've only given us $50,000 for the next fiscal year, which is actually a budget cut from last year. And we need to be recruiting more than ever. We need to be recruiting the best and the brightest to go out and serve our communities.
All right. So as you guys saw in that video, There's a lot of factors that go into homelessness, and the fact that it's becoming a huge problem, because it's not like every single one of the homeless people in San Diego are homeless because of hard times, because they lost their place of business or their home and they're trying to get up. No, some of these people become homeless because they got on drugs. You know, they got on drugs, they got on addiction, and they just kept feeding into that addiction, and it got to the point where now they have mental instability that it sucks that they have it, yes, but at the same time, it's just like, it's mental instability that causes them to be unpredictable and even violent. I'm not saying all of them do, I'm just saying it happens. In my line of work, my entire time living here in San Diego and working in the downtown area, as they mentioned down here, where it's very, very, very heavily centered in the downtown area, I've seen countless homeless people get insanely violent, go insanely crazy, and just don't care who they're hurting or whether they're going to kill a person or not, because that's just the mental instability in them coming out. And sometimes it's just them not caring anymore. But the fact that this video shows the fact that it has just gotten so bad that nobody even bothers calling the cops anymore. It's just domino effect, I guess you could say. Because it's like, at one point you have, back in 2020 when COVID was happening and the riots and everywhere in the name of peace, which was an oxymoron, a huge thing that people were crying out for at that time was to defund police. The idea of defunding the police was the whole take money away that would be going to the police force from whatever city, county, state, and give it to different parts of the communities, to the schools, to having people trained to deal with mental health issues, and people who suffered from it have just money to distribute to different areas besides the police force. And a couple of places were against it. A lot of places were for it. And there's pros and cons to everything, especially when it comes down to defunding your police force. Pros, yeah, you can use that money, distribute it to somewhere else where there's need of funding, like schools, like programs to help people stay off the streets, to help people make something of their lives for a positive sense. But the cons are less funding for police, less ability for them to have things that they need in order to make a non-lethal arrest, and not much funding for training, and they can't get paid enough to get their own training or anything. And a lot of people may look at that and be like, oh, boo-hoo, this and that. It's just like, no, boo-hoo. That's the reality of things. If you want funding to be taken away the police force and place something else, fine. Place somewhere else, fine. That's fine. But you got to realize that by cutting funding, you're cutting a lot of things that you want the police to have. Like, look at San Francisco. I said this before, I'll say it again. San Francisco, comply or die. The reason they have that whole thing is because SF, for the longest time, never had tasers. Ever. They had batons, they had pepper sprays, but they never had tasers. Do you think they're going to take out a baton when somebody has a butcher knife? Not really. How about a chef's knife? Nah. It's like, you think if someone's carrying a bat with spikes on it, they're just going to try and pepper spray that dude? No. Because unlike people think it'll work on TV, like on TV or the movies, when you pepper spray somebody, they don't immediately go, oh, and cover their eyes and stop what they're doing. No. There are plenty of times, plenty of occasions where people have gotten pepper sprayed and don't flinch. They don't get irritated. They don't start having their eyes burn from the capsaicin or anything. They just keep pushing through. They don't care. Tasers as well. There are tasers in the movies. People think they could just knock them out cold and everything. That's not how tasers work in real life. Tasers in real life, if you get a good connection, yeah, it'll stun you for 5 seconds if you're using the police model, 30 seconds of a civilian model, but it won't keep them stunned for long. They'll get right back up. It's not going to knock anybody out. You know, it's not gonna knock anybody out. It's just gonna, how do you say it, stun them for a few seconds, and then they'll get right back up. Batons hurt, but let me tell you, no matter what you use, people have resistance to your tools. You think you're a great fighter? Guess what? There's people out there who are better fighters. You think you're strong because you bench like 400? There's people out there who bench 450, 500. They're massive ass people. I'm just saying, you can be tough. You can be skilled. But somewhere out there, there's always going to be one person who is far tougher, far more skilled than you are. And you got to be ready. You got to be ready to have the upper hand, especially in that line of force. In that line of work, correction. Like back to San Francisco, comply or die. When people threatened SF PD with any bodily harm, when it came down to a huge threat with a bat, with knives, a machete, a sword, even a gun, there's only two things. One, physically put your hands on somebody in order to take him down, or two, shoot him. What do you think police went for the most? You come at them with a knife, they're going to shoot you. You come at them with a bat, they're going to shoot you. You come at them with like 2 or more people, they're going to shoot all of you. Because that's the only choice. Let me go hands on, risk losing my tools, risk losing my gun and getting shot, or let me just shoot you first because you're not listening to me. And that's what happens when you defund the police. You don't give them enough money to get the tools that they need, refillable cartridges, in order to avoid, more deaths out in the world. You get more deaths out in the world, and it's just like, and on top of that, it's just like, let's say work. The last 3-4 episodes I was talking about work, burnout, this and that. If you don't feel appreciated, if you don't feel like your job is doing anything, and you're just like, being talked down to every step of the way, you just don't have the desire to go to work anymore. Your spirit gets broken. Your desire to work is broken. And for people who always go like, let's go to retail. Don't tell me retail people don't fight customers. They do. There's plenty of pictures, videos out there where people who work in retail, Walmart, Kohl's, anywhere, will put their hands on a customer if you push them far enough. But we all couldn't come to agreement. If you talk crap to retail workers when they're just doing their job, you're not a good person. When it comes down to the police force, people have a different view of them because, they're supposed to be out there arresting people. But you also got to look at the people who are causing them grief. Are they like your law-abiding citizen, didn't do anything wrong, yada, yada? Not really, no. A lot of the people who get mad at cops for doing their jobs are the people who aren't great model citizens either. It's insane. And how do you say, when you take money away from the police force, you don't allow them to be able to continue training or continue having their tasers or tools in order to avoid pulling out their gun. When you don't get when every day, aside from all that, just they get berated over and over again. Like even in New York, there's a video where cops are being pelted with water and everything like that. No, like imagine you're walking down the street, you're just minding your own business, and people just start dumping water on you. You'd get pissed because you wouldn't want water dumped on you. You're out here in public, you're at work. So understandably, people will be like, oh, that's screwed up. It's like, hey, if you guys want to like throw water on each other, that's fine. Leave me out of it. I don't even know you guys. There's a video out there where NYPD has water just thrown at them by the bucket loads, and they can't do anything because this was shortly after they defunded NYPD, and NYPD came down with their stupid ass, new use of force policy. Hey, you can't get on top of a person ever, or you'll get arrested for a felony. It's like, what? That's a dominant position. They do that in jiu-jitsu. They do that in wrestling. That's just, if you see two people with no training ever have to fight with each other and they get down to grappling, one of them is going to want to be on top because they like instinctively, everybody knows that's the dominant position. But now NYPD is like, arrest somebody, you can't get on top of them, not even put a knee on top of them, not even put your elbow on top of them, nothing. If any part of you is on top of that person while they're down on the ground, you're gonna get arrested. And it's like, how ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? And now now this video came out, and PD is getting pelted with water, and they're just walking. And then these dudes are walking up to them, just throwing water on them, and they can't do anything. And it's like, you have situations like these and much worse due to the fact that people want to defund the police, that officers are like, I don't want to do this anymore. And they either move to do law enforcement in a different state that actually supports their law enforcement officers, or they just quit and do a different job. And then that's why you have low number of officers on the force. Officers keep quitting. Not many people on the outside who wanted to join are looking at how things are now and be like, nah, this is not going to go well. I'm doing something else. And then go and do something else. And then now you have people in these videos who are like, I don't even call the cops because they don't even show up till later. If they even show up at all, problem's long gone. And it's true. Because not many people want to go into the force. People are leaving at a rapid race. People are just not wanting to sign up. And because of all of that, the public is being affected as well. Low response time. And that guy who was talking, he was right. There's PD who aren't answering to priority calls. Because they're ordered to go to a certain area where homeless people are gathering and shuffle them somewhere else. Just that's that. Hey, don't hang out on this side, hang out over there, this block down. And yeah, it's right. It's to make the mayor look good. It's to make the mayor look really good. It's just like you have the mayor having people over like, hey, let's take a tour of my city. But what people don't see is beforehand, the police are in charge of moving homeless people away from the scheduled route. So that way, people who come and visit to see how the mayor's doing, they don't see the problem. It's like in real life. Like if you put a stain on the couch cushion, all you do is flip the couch cushion over to hide the stain. So when people come over, or your mom comes over, your dad comes over, whatever, like they won't see the stain. They can't get mad at you. You're doing great. You're taking care of your furniture. Nah, you're just hiding it. You're just hiding the problem. You're not really doing anything about it. And yeah, but it's just like, this is horrible. You have the rise of homelessness because people are coming in, gentrifying places, and people are getting greedy and wanting to raise up their rent prices and everything. That property market is going, just going up. People locals can't afford to stay, so they have to leave or they become homeless and contribute to the growing number of the homeless population. And then a lot of them start abusing drugs and alcohol, and to the point they get mental illnesses. And then you have places like this who are being like, hey, defund the police. And then the police are like, all right, screw it, we're out. And then they start going, and then they're like, hey, why aren't the police responding on time? And it's just like, because you're defunding them. People are quitting, people don't want to join, and the people who do stay, they're tied up because they're trying to deal with the homeless problem, so they can't go into more priority calls. And if they go to priority calls, they don't deal with the homeless problem, and people are mad at them because they're not there responding to the homeless people, attacking them. It's this whole thing. You know what my solution would be? I don't know. I don't have a solution. I have ideas, but I wouldn't call any of them solutions. It's just, in an ideal world, everybody could afford a place to live, and everybody can afford whatever treatment they have. But this isn't an ideal world. This is California, the place where money speaks, where money is all. And if you don't have that, oh well, it sucks for you. Now, I will say places like Father Joe's Villages are buying out buildings, like hotel buildings and everything like that, in order to house the homeless, which is very good, very nice, because there's a lot of buildings in San Diego that aren't being used for anything, that aren't being used for squat. They're just abandoned. So Father Joe's are buying that building, they're fixing it up, and then they're placing homeless people in there. so they could have a place to sleep at night. But remember, when it comes down to things like that are free, there's a set of rules that you have to follow. And one of those rules would usually be like, you can't drink in here. You can't do drugs in here. This is a place for you to sleep, for you to decorate as your own, for you to, like, you know, take care of yourself and whatever, so you don't have to be out there in the streets when things get hard out there. But you have to take care of this place. And you won't be able to take care of this place if you're doing things like drugs, if you're getting drunk all the night. So just don't do that. And you can live here for free, or for a small price, but mainly for free. And there are people that, despite acknowledging all of that, still do it. And there are people out there who just don't want help, who are happy where they're at, who don't want to go anywhere to better their lives. They just want to keep doing what they're doing. And then that problem, is it a homeless problem, or is it just a people problem at that point? I don't know. But yeah, so that's all I have to say. I don't know. I saw that literally today as I was getting ready to do this episode right now. And I was just like, yeah, no, I can talk about it. I can talk about it. Oh man, dude, I just don't know. I don't know. Like, honestly, what would my solutions be? Like I said, I already told you the ideal thing, but it's just, if you want, if anything, I feel like in police force, in police departments, you can, there's different, like, you know, divisions you can go to once you put a certain amount of time in. You can become a TO, with training officer. You can be part of their K9. You could do Metro. You could do SWAT. You could do all this stuff, you know? And then you can become detectives. And then you can become detectives in homicide or vice or traffic or anything, you know? And, how do you say it? Or arson even. You could do all that stuff. And even more. Warrants. My buddy wants to do warrants. I kind of want to do warrants too. So I'm trying to do warrants if I'm not doing K9. But how do you say it? How do you say it? So how about, instead of defunding the police, how about more funding goes into maybe starting our own division for mental health? I mean, I would think so at that point, because it's just like I said, what is a huge reason why police officers aren't responding to every single call? Because a lot of them are quitting. A lot of them know that they're not going to be appreciated here. A lot of them know that they're not going to be supported. In fact, they know that while they're helping some other person, there's a high chance at this point that they're going to get fucking... Here I am cursing, I'm sorry. They're going to get domed in the back of the head while they're helping somebody else, you know? Because of how strong the mentality of, screw the police, we don't need them, they're not people, you know? But if we change that mentality, maybe if we change that mentality while being like, hey, we're picketing or whatever, we're trying to sign a petition in order for the department, our local department, to open up a division that specifically focusing on dealing with those who are mentally challenged, the mentally ill, or anything, it would help. And honestly, that I feel like that'd be a great solution. Have a specific division who have studied for mental health issues, who are trained for mental health issues, and have that division just focus solely on people who are having mental crisis, you know? Because at this point, you're taking money away, divisions are closing, you just have your basic patrol officers, and they're the ones that are the only ones that can deal with that problem at this point. But you feed more money into that, open up a section for mental health, and then just have those specifically trained mental health officers be the one to respond to the calls regarding mental health, you know? I don't know, that's just my whole thing. In an ideal world, An ideal world, maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't. I don't know. But yeah, that's just me. All right, well, I guess that's all I have to do for today. Well, say. Yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I will catch you guys next time. Later.